Have you been looking for a way to get those social justice warriors off your back because they've been criticizing you day in and day out ever since you walked away? Well, look no further. I'm going to give you a surefire way to get them to stop, think, and get off your back. And we're starting right now. Hi, I'm Kyle, and this is part 3 in my Walkaway support series, where I hope to give you the tools to help your rational and open-minded friends to also walk away. In our last video, we talked about the Dred Scott case and how that relates to judicial overreach. If you missed any of that, click in the link below. There's a playlist where you can catch up with anything that you may have missed. This time, I'm going to show you how to answer a social justice warrior critic with just one question. All right, let's begin. So let me guess, ever since you walked away, there's been that one person that knew this, and whether it be social media or in person, is not very happy with you. Let me further speculate that the same person also now has their mission in life to berate you constantly. Because not only are you not as enlightened as they are, but you're also because you're an intolerant, homophobic, xenophobic, Nazi, fascist, deplorable, racist. Well, that's why I'm here. So I'm going to help you with some narratives to help combat that. See, I have some good news, because the best way to handle an irrational attack is to hit them with a rational question. And the question that I'm about to give you is going to help them do that. They're going to be forced to do one of two things: either address your question or run away from your question. If they run away from the question, that's fine, but just make sure that they don't deflect. If they deflect, they're going to try and go off on a tangent, and then you're back to where you were. Make them answer the question and make them walk away from that, okay? Or engage you, one or the other, okay? And so the question is this: I understand your position on fill in the blank, but which would you rather have, equal opportunity or equal outcome? Because you cannot have both. Do you see what I did there? What I did was I initially said, I understand your position on this particular subject. Try and be specific in there, because if you don't, they may come back and say, you know what, hey, you didn't understand what I was saying. Don't do that. You don't want to give them an out on a technicality. Number two, what I did was I put them on the defensive with that second part, saying equal opportunity or equal outcome. Very important, because that's going to make them step back and think, and that's going to disengage them from you in attacking you, and also pull them back in a defensive posture or an acquisitive posture. Either way, it's good. And third, what it does is it doesn't get them off the hook. It says that there's no choice other than, equal opportunity or equal outcome. You can't have both. So you make a declaration putting them more on the defensive. And that's awesome, because at this point, all they can do is attack you, be negative, run away, deflect, or they can engage you. If they run away, great. If they deflect, make them answer the question and then make them run away. Either way, you win in all these cases. Now, I'm going to share with you a few examples of how this can play out. I got this from Steven Crowder from Louder with Crowder, and here's what he has to say.
Affirmative action, we talk about identity politics. It's really simple, okay? Equal opportunity, and you've heard this before, but I want to try and do it as simply as possible. Equal opportunity or equal outcomes. You have to pick one or the other. You can't have both. That's it. People say, well, what are the impacts? No, it's really simple to say. If you want to provide equal opportunity to people in this country, you cannot try to ensure equal outcomes. If you ensure equal outcomes, people can't have equal opportunity. And we see this happening.
So he basically said that if you're going to give opportunities to people and you want equal outcome, you can't have equal opportunity as well. You have to have one or the other. So the only caveat with this is that you're going to have to be a little bit more knowledgeable with the narratives that you come up with, because you have to have a good question to ask. The good news is there's only like 4 or 5 that's ever going to come up. So basically I put together a list of about 6 that are going to be 90% of what you're ever going to deal with. And so if you go into the description below, look for my members area link, pop in your email address there. It's free, but it'll take you to my members area. And in there, you'll see this document for this particular video. And it's kind of a chart with the different things that I've come up with. Now, you can change that for yourself, but the important thing is that it's good for you to understand what is your understanding of every single issue. Each issue is going to come down to one of 2 things: personal liberty or group appropriation, meaning that your rights come from what the masses feel is appropriate for your group. So I created a table that had the issue itself and one column for equal outcome, no equal opportunity, another column for no equal outcome, but equal opportunity. So right now, we're going to take a look at a couple of these on my list. And remember, you can do this on your own. It's important for you to understand what you feel on your own, because you're going to have to be able to understand and articulate these points. Keep it simple, and then let them know, because at the end of the day, it isn't really about you being right on the logic per se. It's about stopping them from attacking you and getting them to think. So the first topic I have is affirmative action. And as you see here, I have equal outcome and equal opportunity. So the first sentence deals with the equal outcome, and the second sentence deals with equal opportunity. So the equal outcome sentence is all Black people get jobs regardless of their qualification. And the no equal opportunity downside of that is that the qualified people do not get jobs. So it doesn't matter. If you're Black, you get a job. That's basically what we're saying. So these statements are pretty harsh because that's what they believe. And when you say it out loud, it sounds really crazy, but that's what these social justice warriors believe. Taking their position, putting it on paper, breaking it down to its logical conclusion, and letting them see for themselves what they believe is rather shocking. And you look at it and say, I can't possibly believe that, but they actually do. And that's what's the best part about this is getting them to think and asking it in the question, because questions are not confrontational, generally speaking. Let's continue. So for the no equal outcome, we have qualified people get jobs, and for the equal opportunity, we have all Black people have the opportunity to get qualified jobs. So for the no equal outcome side of this, which is what a social justice warrior wouldn't like, would be qualified people get jobs. Meaning if you're qualified, you get jobs. That excludes people who are unqualified. That's not equal outcome, and that makes social justice warriors upset. It shouldn't, but it does. Seems like it does, at least. And then the equal opportunity is that all Black people have the opportunity to be qualified for jobs. And that's what we're going to be talking about. That's what we're going to be debating on for the next few minutes with this person we're dealing with. So I hope you're seeing where we're going with. Let's take one more example. So now we have equal inequality. Let's take a look at this one. We have, for the equal outcome, meaning that everybody has the same result, all people are paid relatively the same as the opposite sex. So no matter what you are, male or female, you're going to be paid relatively the same across the board. But that comes with no equal opportunity. And with that, we have jobs which take on more risk and provide more value are now paid at a similar rate based on sex. So if you have a female chef who is the top of her game, they're in a restaurant, and she is the one working the most hours, and she's incurring the most risk because if something goes wrong, she's going to be the one fired, especially if someone gets sick. And people come to the restaurant primarily for her cooking. She's going to get paid relatively the same amount as the busboy who only works 20 hours a week. And, so that's where we're heading with this. And if you say that, that's not what they're going to think they believe, but ultimately, that's kind of what they do believe. And they really haven't thought these things out. You know why? Because most of this stuff, believe it or not, is based on sheer emotion and lack of evidence. Let's look at the last part of this. So for the no equal outcome, we have all people are paid based on the risk and value they provide regardless of sex. So this is exclusionary because, based on what you bring to the table, that's how you're going to get paid. But the equal opportunity part of it is all people have the same opportunities to earn as much money as they possibly can. So everything being equal, everybody should have the same opportunity to make as much money as anybody else. And so this is where I come down on all these different issues. There's about 4 or 5 more. And like I said before, if you go on the description, look for the membership area, put your email address in there, you'll get a link to this particular document. You'll see that. And I encourage you to comment below and help me to develop this out because I'm going to use this as I go forward. Okay, so I hope you see where we're going with this. And I hope this wasn't too wonky or too in the weeds, but I think it's very important for us to understand that we have to get these people to think because they are dealing with emotional issues gone crazy. And if you take what they believe, break it down to what it really is, to its logical conclusion, and show it to them in a way that's not confrontational, then I am encouraged that they're either going to leave you alone and not deal with you because you're just too smart, or they're going to say, wow, I did not believe that, or that's not what I meant. And the dialogue will begin, and guess what? They're going to start coming our way because they're starting to think and starting to put the logic in place, and that's where we can start helping them move forward. Because for me, it took me several years to get to where I am now, but it was small baby steps along the way of facts backed up with anecdotal evidence and also lies that were told to me. And so all that kind of played a part. So that's kind of what we're going with. But for now, you're new to the walkaway movement. You're new to conservatism, a lot of you. And so you just want to get them off your back. You just want to keep a friendship. You don't want them to, think you're crazy because ultimately they're going to respect you because they're going to say, you know what, she is more intelligent than I thought she was, or he is more intelligent than I thought he was. And that's going to help bring you closer together, hopefully. It's going to make Thanksgiving a lot better, hopefully, because you're not being confrontational and they're also learning to think for themselves without dealing with the emotional baggage that comes with the Social Justice Warrior platform. On a side note, I included a video from 2016 about 5 cases where social justice warriors contradicted themselves, and it's pretty interesting. So check a look at that. It's not quite relative to this video, but it's still interesting nonetheless. And so that's it. So again, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Find the playlist that you may have missed material on, get caught up, and have a great weekend. If you're on the East Coast, be safe, be smart. And remember, learning from the past helps us to relate to the future. Till next time.